So last night was definitely a night of fights. We obviously had the Canelo fight going as well, which I still have to go back and watch. I was more focused on this card because I'm an I'm a UFC shield and I will watch anything that they put out, and it's starting to hurt my mental health. But something that didn't hurt my mental health, Reineer de Ridder proved that he belongs in the UFC after his debut, which we're gonna get to. We're gonna go through Rainier's career, what he did in one, and m- most importantly, go through this fight. Now, I picked Rainier to win. I picked him by decision though, and the main reason was that he has striking. He has that Dutch kickboxing, and he showed Bo Nickal really fast. You need more than an overhand in MMA. Bo Nickal, before I get into, my critiques of him, he is a high level wrestler. He has a lot of potential. He will probably be in the UFC for years, and I can absolutely see him being a contender down the road. But when you look at the Paul Craig fight, you look at the other fights he has, this guy does not have the striking he needs to compete. And Rainier showed that really quickly. Obviously, the knees to the body. And that's the biggest thing people are talking about because that's what got him out of there. As a wrestler, you need your diaphragm. You need your energy to push for the takedowns, grab the double legs, grab the single legs. But, in the clinch, Reineer de Ridder is deadly. And he showed that. He found the shots that he needed. Bo Nickal too. It goes back to his stand up. Didn't defend well. He really had no idea of what to do in this situation. It was a really big step up for him. It really was. Um, I want to pull up the stats of the fight mainly because it helps me refresh my memory, and it gives you guys who maybe didn't watch the fight, maybe watch the highlight, an idea of how the rounds went. Round one was purely Renier de Ridder picking him apart from the feet. You know, leg kicks, kicks through the body, using the jab. I, again, if you watched my reaction last night, you know that I had a fucking aneurysm when Misha Tate forgot how to throw a jab for the first two rounds. Probably could have won that fight. The moment she started throwing the jab, she found the takedowns, what she needed. Reineer de Ridder knows that. Reineer de Ridder knew exactly what to do. Bo Nickal did get a takedown the first, but he really couldn't do anything on the ground against Reineer de Ridder. And that's like a lot of these collegiate athletes, American, NCAA athletes, who come into the UFC and run into a guy who has had a few years in jiu-jitsu. They really can't do much. And then in the second round, when, shit went completely south, he defended a takedown for Reineer de Ridder, but Reineer de Ridder was able to land jabs, land kicks, mix it up, and then once it got into the clinch, Bo Nickal didn't know what to do. That was unfamiliar territory to him, and for a guy like Reineer de Ridder, he's at home there. Like, I really want to watch what I say. I really want to watch what I say because these are still high level athletes at the end of the day. As much as we want to nitpick as fans, these guys do put a lot of work into it. But again, when you're at the highest level, you're going to get the most amount of critiques. Bo Nickal does not belong in the top of middleweight right now. Okay, let me double check. I'm pretty sure I have my desktop audio muted. Let's quickly go to uh, the middleweight rankings. And why not? We'll use the shitty UFC.com rankings. Unless, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going with Tapology. I'm loyal to them, man. They have the best rankings out of anybody. So let's go into here and we'll see. You got Dricus Duplessis, who's the champion, who's going to be fighting Hamza Chimaev probably in the summer, maybe in the fall. But we know that fight's gonna happen. DDP would run circles around Bo Nickal, I think. DDP, I think, will be able to get Bo Nickal down, and you're making an ugly fight. Bo Nickal, again, he can't strike. Dricus Duplessis knows how to blitz. He is really good at blitzing. Hamza Chimaev, the guy who claims he will out grapple. Hamza Chimaev out grappled Kamara Usman. The only real guy that, well, I mean, Kamara Usman had his moments. But, like, the only guy that I think really showed him some difficulties in the grappling, and it wasn't much, was Gilbert Burns. Yeah, Sean Strickland. Honestly, I know that Reineer de Ridder called out Sean Strickland. I love that fight. I'm going to talk about that after. I think Sean's defense, it would allow him to do what Sean does: stay on the feet, use the jab. Again, jab. I cannot stress enough how important a fucking jab is. Like, when you go into any boxing, kickboxing, whatever striking martial arts, that is the bread and butter of any striking base, the jab. Sean is the master of jabs and teeth. Nazardine Imavov, I think Imavov would destroy him, especially after he knocked out Israel Adesanya. I, I don't think it'll be close. Israel Adesanya, I mean, now I could see him beating Israel Adesanya now, but I would still favor Izzy in that fight. Prime Izzy, no shot in hell Bo Nickal beats him. Not the Bo Nickal we have currently. I want to stress that Bo Nickal can be a top contender, like I said. I'm just talking about right now. Caleb Barallo, um, I think he'd be the most entertaining fight, but again, I think Kale beats him. Whitaker, he might be able to beat Whitaker. Maybe. Maybe. But again, Whitaker is a really good wrestler, and it's really good at stopping takedowns. Jared Cannonier, you, you would think that this would be the most winnable fight for him out of the top 10. After that performance, though, I think it's Jared Cannonier would beat him. Even though he's, 40, whatever. Anthony Hernandez, I think Hernandez outgrapples um, Bo Nickal. Brendan Allen, I could see him beating Brendan Allen. Um, Roman DeWidze, he could be Roman DeWidze, I think. Yeah, Roman DeWidze is more of a striker. Marvin Vittori, again, Marvin Vittori is kind of past his peak there when he fought for the belt. Paulo Costa, I think he can beat Jack Hermanson. I think Jack Hermanson could outgrapple him. And, we lost Reineer de Ridder, Roman Koplev. You got all these guys. Ikram Oliskarov coming back super confident in the mic. Like, I don't think he can make it there with what he's shown in the UFC so far. But I want to move on to the opposite end of the spectrum with Reineer de Ridder, who got the performance he needed. Wow, they actually gave a performance of the night bonus. Wow. Well, no, they actually never mind. They haven't started to give them recently, but like it was like a 4 month period where they gave out none. But again, really good fight from him. It was a finish that he needed, and it puts him up in the middleweight division. Submitted Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, I think it was Rampage. Yeah, Rampage, right? The other day, who said if Kevin Holland took his career seriously, he could probably be champion. And honestly, I think he has the potential. But we saw him fight Hamzat, and I think DDP will beat him. I think Immobil will beat him. But again, if we saw a serious Kevin Holland in MMA, I think it would be terrifying. Gerald Marshall, again, the fight that everybody went back to and said, oh, well, Gerald Marshall pieced him up on the feet. He still found the submission. Um, then you had the UAE fight where he beat Murad Kazayev by first on TKO. Then his only loss is an MMA too, and this is the biggest thing I want to stress is Anatoly Melikin, who, let me open up here. Anatoly Melikin is the three weight division champ over in one. Oh yeah, I forgot he lost to Umar Kane in his last fight by split decision. But again, Malkin is a beast. Other than that, though, submitted Vitaly Bigdash, Kamaran Abazov, beat Ang won Sang twice when he won. I think that was the middleweight belt. And then you look at unanimous decision, second round TKO, first round submission, first round submission, first round submission, third round submission, second round submission, first round TKO, first round submission. The guy is an animal. And the question always when a one champion comes in or a Bellator champion comes in, can they compete at the highest level in this sport? And Reineer de Ridder, after the growing pains, this guy could win the championship. And then you have the very interesting possibility of a Dutch versus Dutch fight and Dricus and Reineer de Ridder. Again, friend of the channel. Um, really big fan of Reineer de Ridder. If you guys know, usually I'm talking with the guy who was usually with me on any of my live streams and that. Um, he put me on to Reineer de Ridder, and after that GM3 fight, and especially after last night, I see why the hype around Reineer de Ridder was real. The guy is a legitimate kickboxer, and he is nasty on the ground. And he just well, he didn't submit, and he just handled, again, call it NCAA All Star, or how many accolades Bo Nickal has in NCAA. It never mattered. So like, we have Gable Stevenson still, and I'm gonna talk about this quick. He's staying with John Jones, which absolutely will be beneficial to him. But again, I'm not that hyped when I hear about NCAA this, NCAA that, because American wrestling is clearly not superior to European wrestling, to Dagestani wrestling. And we're seeing it now. I know that Guru made Daniel Cormier have an aneurysm and proved Guru's point. but it's true. Other than that, though, hell of a performance by Reineer de Ridder, and he's exactly what we need right now. He is a finisher, really good striking, really good grappler, really talented. Um, yeah, man. I can't lie. I was really happy when that happened. I think Bo Nickal needed it. And to end this off, even though I'm cheering on RDR, I think this loss is the best thing for Bo Nickal. I think Bo Nickal will learn proper defense. He will learn that he actually needs to take his striking seriously. And hopefully we see him develop a jab, man. Again, the jab is the most important thing in MMA. Even more than boxing, I would argue. Setting up the takedowns, setting up the overhands that you constantly spam everywhere. But I'm going back to shitting on him, but let me know, what did you think about this fight down below? I wanted to talk about this fight first, mainly because I was more impressed by this. Obviously, we'll have to make a video on Corey Sandhagen, as well as I want to make a video on Mason Jones, a guy that not many people probably will talk about. I know MMA Guru was talking about him in his predictions. Well, yeah, let me know, what did you think about Reineer de Ridder's performance, and what do you think about Bo Nickal's growth in MMA? What do you think he should do next? I think him going to a boxing heavy, maybe a Freddie Roach if he's still around. Trevor Whitman again. I know that team lately hasn't had much success, but a proper striking coach would really benefit Bo Nickal. But let me know what you think down below. Thanks for watching. Later.